5 o'clock in the afternoon. I had problems finding Bourbon Street. Finally, I found it. You couldn't drive down it. I was like the only car in the street that was moving. Everything was parked. So anyway, I finally stopped and asked this one guy who looked like a local to me, and he was. And he said, yeah, brother, I 3-4 blocks down there somewhere on the left-hand side. I don't know how many blocks it is, but it's down there on the left.
That's how they talk down there?
Yeah. Yeah, especially them black ones. Oh, anyway, I'm going now. Hey, you can't drive down the street. The sidewalks are filled. The road is filled with people. They're drinking beer in the middle of the street. They're standing in the middle of the street bullshitting, having a party. You gotta stop. You gotta wait till they see you and move. Oh, finally I find a motel. Pull in there.
Excuse me.
Huh. I didn't know where to go, what to do. Huh. Finally, the bellboy comes out. Hi. Are you here for a room? I said, if I could get one, I am. So, anyway, okay, stay here. I'll go inside and see if they got a room available. So he come back out. Fine, got a room for me. Alright, so, alright, you want valet parking? I said, yeah, I gotta park my car someplace. It ain't gonna be here. In the middle of, oh, Jesus Christ, I've been trashed in the morning. So, and that was a good thing for me too, anyway, you know, because I just got out of Montana and I needed
you wouldn't drink and drive, would you?
Drink and drive. So they valeted my car, took my car keys away, got me to my room, got a guy to carry me my bag up there, come back down the stairs, come back down the stairs, and you open the front door of the hotel, and there's nothing but a big freaking party going on anywhere you are. Up or down, it didn't matter. It was nothing but a big party. I said, oh my goodness gracious, this is my kind of place. Out the door I went, as George Thorogood would say. But I was paying rent. Oh, more rent than I wanted to pay. I didn't even ask the price of the motel. So it was too late. But anyway, I go down, I see this place, I'm walking down, looking at Bourbon Street, I find this band playing.
Like with the Windex.
The windows there, all I can see is the drummer's feet. Because there was a window there, and the window was dirty. But I got interested in seeing how, I love watching live bands, period. Well, so then I went around and went inside. Well, I go by the bar here and I see another bar over there up top. It was up about 4 steps, so I went to the top bar and I had a railing that turned around and faced the band. So I'm watching the band and everything. You know, the lead singer from the band comes out with her hat or her bucket, whatever the hell they carry, looking for tips. Oh, the first time she came around, I gave her a couple of dollars. Yeah, just talked to her for a couple of seconds, you know, told her thank you. It was very good. Well, went back up, performed again, came back around with a hat for the second time. Oh, previously she just sang a song and she sounded exactly like Janis Joplin. So when she came around for the tips again, I threw another couple buckets in her hat. And I said, could you do me a favor? I said, you sound so much like Janis Joplin. Would you sing a Janis Joplin song for me? She goes, I love Janis Joplin and I do it all the time. So I threw another couple of bucks in her hat, and she looked at my hat and told me thank you for your service and everything. Went back up on the stage, started another song, and then another song. No Janis Joplin. I figured she just forgot. Well, the next song, this lead singer comes up to the front of the stage, says, this is where I'm gonna cry. She goes, I have a special request for Janis Joplin. And it comes from a Marine Corps veteran. She stood on the stage in the spotlight. She says, I can see him from here, and she pointed right at me and she asked me to stand up. So I stood up and I just went like this and I sat back down. And that lead singer said to that audience, would you please give that veteran a round of applause? Half of that bar stood up and gave me a standing ovation. I was, at first I thought I was embarrassed, but after I thought about it, I wasn't embarrassed. I didn't turn red in the face and I didn't shy away from it. What the right word is, I was humbled. I was grateful. I was proud. I was filled with pride and joy and happiness. The only other time I've ever felt that way is when my children were born. That's the only, I've never been treated that way before in my life. I've never gone through them many good emotions all at once. And people come, men handing you cold beers, here. Young women coming up to you, hugging you, and kissing you on the cheek. I couldn't believe it. I was being treated like royalty. I actually couldn't believe what was happening to me. It's something I'll never, ever, ever forget. Never, ever, to the day they open them crematorium doors and put my old dead ass in there. Never forget it. And the next night, with the girl I was just showing you a picture about, the next night I went back to the same bar because I enjoyed it so much. Well, this girl come up, and I'm sitting on the railing watching the band play, and I'm talking to this other guy. He turned out to be a Navy veteran. So me and him, and then here comes this young girl up and talking, and so she asked me to dance with her. I told her I couldn't carry a tune in a wheelbarrow. I don't know how to dance. I'm not good at it. I don't do that. So she asked the Navy veteran to dance. So she went out and danced with him, and then she came back and handed me her purse. You know, it was just a little purse, you know. She said, would you watch this for me while I take another dance? I said, sure. She put it right here. I wasn't going nowhere. I just put my arm on it and just left it here. So she came back about a half hour later. I said, oh, I still got your purse. You want it back? I said, I haven't even touched it. You know, she said, I know. I've been watching you. It's fine. Well, I couldn't blame her for that. But anyway, here's this girl talking back and forth to me with a Navy veteran. And she was so friendly. So anyway, here comes this guy. About 6'2", 280 pounds, could have squashed me like a grape. And he looks at me while this girl is talking to me, and he says, what are you doing with my wife? all as I could think of was Leonard Skinner. I said, wait a minute, mister, I didn't even kiss her, and I certainly don't want no trouble with you. And he led me on for another 30 seconds or so, and then he put his arm around me, and he goes, I'm just breaking your balls. And he goes, but it is my wife. And you know who the man was? He was the owner of the bar, and the woman that was flirting with me and the other guy was really his wife. And he goes, she's like that. She goes, I know she always gonna come home with me, but that's the way she is.
That's the lady in the picture?
Yeah, that's the lady in the picture.